pause. Okay, so here's where we're at, guys. DeMusliM and DiMaga are finishing up videos right now. We're gonna be casting this. So this group started an hour and 45 minutes late, and even the players are starting to get a little bit restless with all the waiting that they have to do. So they're letting DeMusliM and DiMaga play at the same time as Mana and DNS. I asked you guys in chat who you want to see more, and there was like 5 more 1s than 2s, so deal with it. DiMaga and DeMusliM will be the losers match we'll be casting, and of course it'll be the winners match afterwards. So Mana and DNS will play their PvP. We won't be casting that. That will be playing out at the same time. I don't know if another language stream will be covering it, but you can see all the streams available on Team Liquid, and you can check out from there. Dude, Smallbox, you've recommended Death Wish coffee like a million times during the broadcast. I don't drink coffee, dude. For those who don't know me, I don't drink hot liquids, period. When it comes to soup, I wait till it's like cooled off, or I put it in the fridge. Like, I don't like hot liquids. So, thank you, but no, it's not going to happen. No coffee. I wish energy drinks worked better than they did. My Monster's now gone, so I'm about to dive into this Red Bull. If Monster Red Bull would sponsor me, I wouldn't have to drink the other one, though. I'm just saying. No. I usually buy a sugar-free Red Bull. I forgot to do that this time, though. I haven't had a real Red Bull in a while, so I'm kind of scared. This might make me a little bit wiry. I'm hoping. Maybe. I don't know. Either way, we're on DeMusliM and DiMaga to finish up their videos so I can get some invites, and hopefully we'll get into this party soon. There we go. First map going to be on Frost. Fart Falcon says, Rifkin, take my energy. Fart Falcon, thank you for subscribing earlier. If you didn't hear it, you have given me your energy. Thank you for being awesome. But maybe instead of energy, if you want to give me a cute girl, I'd be okay with that too. No, I'm just kidding. Where are we at here? DeMusliM, blah, 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 blah. Looks like we're good to go. Oh, Lambo went first in his Penthouse group, by the way. I'm really excited to see that. I love Lambo. I regularly get a bunch of shit on all of our Lambo VODs for talking Lambo up, then he loses a game. So it's nice to see not casting him. He did well. Feels bad, man. Are you kidding me? Of course you want Mana DNS. Dude, I'm sorry, but the more people wanted DiMaga, DeMusliM, and I had like 30 seconds to figure it out. So vote harder next time. I don't know what to tell you. But okay, we are in game number 1 of the losers match. Somebody here is about to get eliminated from the TakeTV Penthouse party, show matches, tournaments. Spawning in the top right, it's going to be, once again, the Blue Zerg player, DiMaga. And in the bottom left is going to be the red Terran player, DeMusliM. Mexa Warrior says, greetings from Mexico, my friend. BaseTradeTV, good luck, have fun. And then I believe, is that a Jim Rising emote? Because it looks like one to me. So, hola, right back at you, friendo. Or hombre. Or, oh no, wait, that makes me, Rifkin, you have terrible dietary habits. Well, I mean, that's not true, Bob Stash, and that's just kind of mean, man. Feels bad. Feels bad. Yo, Rifkin, do some workout for like 1 minute and maybe from fresh air. It usually works. Well, I have a window in front of me. I've got an AC on. I've got weights behind me. I guess I could, but also maybe I'll just sit here and complain instead. I don't know. Alright, so DiMaga's need a quick second there for the pause. Oh yeah, I forgot. So if you guys weren't here for the first time we cast DiMaga, DiMaga's using some cool new skins that were made available through the patch. However, they are for roaches, which may not be his choice against DeMusliM, TvZ. However, if it is, you see some really cool looking roaches. Bets are not out. Let me go do those because our mods are fucking fired. All of our mods are fired today. This is like the 5th time I've had to do bets. Feels bad, man. There we go. Oh yeah. So I kind of forgot, but for those, I've been trying to advertise this. I actually have no idea if anyone's been going over to TakeTV's page and doing it, but if you would like to increase the prize pool for the tournaments, nothing you do on BaseTradeTV will help. If you're a really awesome soul willing to generously donate here, all that money is staying on BaseTradeTV. Same with subscriptions that we get. However, TakeTV has been rather cool, and half of their donations and half of their subscriptions today are going to go towards funding the prize pool for the tournament. So I think we're close to like $900 now or something, which is kind of cool. But you'll have to head over to TakeTV's page, or if you type !TakeTV in chat, there's a bot command set up to link you towards the things. I just copy pasted it from Team Liquid. It's their Google short hyperlink things. Anyways, DiMaga and DeMusliM. I gotta say, thinking on it, going with my gut, I favor DeMusliM in this. But DeMusliM is actually a little bit tight for time, so winning this might not be exactly a win for him. Getting to the finals of the group means waiting a little bit longer and possibly playing a little bit longer too, as he'd have to go up against either Mon or DNS in the grand finals. The reason they're playing both at the same time, as I mentioned before, the group's a little bit behind schedule by almost 2 hours, but also DeMusliM had only been allotted a certain amount of time, I guess, of his own personal schedule to play in the tournament today, and a lot of it's already being overextended and run through. So, again, a win for DeMusliM may not be a win for DeMusliM if you know what I'm saying. This opening, though, pretty classic. A couple of Hellions. We're going to have that Cloaked Banshee come out. It's looking all hard as swarmy, so maybe this wasn't just his versus Protoss build, but a generic build he's going with today. I will admit I'm a little bit sad. I used to watch DeMusliM stream all the time, and he hasn't streamed much more recently, but also when he was, I didn't get time to watch it either, so it feels bad, man. Looks like the hatchery going to be under a little bit of attack, but really it's nothing too dangerous, so the queens slowly saunter on over and should be able to push any of these threats back. Again, it's just a couple of Hellions and a Reaper. It's not too bad. Oh, wow. So last time we checked in on the goal, it was barely $900, but apparently they're up to 1,000 now, which is awesome. That's cool to see. That's great stuff for this little Penthouse party thing. I could be wrong, but I think the reason they're throwing this tournament in the first place as well is because they got a really awesome amount of subs from Twitch Prime or something, or just a lot of new subs in general, so that's kind of cool. I think they're trying to push towards 2,000. I actually have no idea how many subs TakeTV's at, but I know that TakeTV and O Gaming both have like way more subs than us. Feels sad, man. But hey, with people like Poorly Informed resubbing for 30 months in a row, I find it hard to complain. Thank you for supporting the channel, dude. Hellion's doing some nice work, but better out of DiMaga as he does get these surrounds and cleans them up. And DeMusliM really should have been able to take on all these lings. I feel like a large part of this was he was focusing on the queens over here, so he didn't get to shoot elsewhere. Of course, he didn't finish off that queen either. And let's be honest, I don't want to be too critical of DeMusliM, but it's just been some sloppy play here in the openings. And it's not necessarily like he's making a lot of wrong moves. I mean, the Banshee's still alive, but the Hellion's going down were a lot of damage that he's now missing out on. Also, I heard some applause. Somebody donated. It's Zai. Zai. Oh, God, I have no doubt pronounced this. I'm so sorry. Donates $22.74. Says, thank you, TakeTV, for this tournament. Heart with France. From love. Okay, from France with love. Heart. Zay, if you're in Twitch chat, bro, level with me here. Did you donate that to the wrong place? If you meant that to go to TakeTV, I've got no problem sending that to TakeTV on your behalf. But please keep in mind that if you actually intended that for this channel, you know, thank you. I just want to make sure that, because the message sounds like it was maybe meant for somebody. You get somebody else's mail, you know? You don't open someone else's mail. Actually, I'm pretty sure a lot of nosy people would. I totally have done that before. One lady sent me shoes. I was like, oh, wait, I didn't order shoes. What the hell happened? Anyways, Banshee getting a couple of shots. Really unfortunate for DeMusliM. He has not secured, I want to say, almost any kills this game. Yeah, it's been a trade of lings and now a couple of drones finally for a lot of Hellions. Feels bad, man. That being said, the queens are not too unexpected. You have a lot of queens to deal with nowadays, and I think a lot of Terran players are preferring the 2 medevac drop to something like this because it can at least fight the queens. The interesting version of this, though, is like, okay, well, you might not have 8 Marines and a medevac or anything like that to fight with. The Banshee is a lot easier to take care of, whereas I think it's easier to lose those Marines to something complacent and silly. Second Banshee as well, too. Kind of noticed that. That'll be great for picking off Banelings, actually, as the fights follow through in small scale. Obviously fall off a little bit later in the later game. But for now, I'm going to move towards that third CC and float it on over to the base. His production is actually going to look pretty nice for DeMusliM, as all of his barracks are finishing up, and of course 1-1 is nearing completion as well. A little bit of a perhaps sneaky attack down here to the south, maybe. Alright, Overlord gonna get picked off here, so no drop Overlord to worry about in that regard. Banshee slowly comes back into the base, but there's the Spore Crawler. Finds a nice place to hold position and just kill some drones. Yeah, finding it hard to find too much wiggle room with a Banshee. Nice transfuse on that drone to keep it alive a little bit longer too. Hell, burning a transfuse like this is actually kind of nice. Get rid of those if he was following up with an immediate attack. Meanwhile, bunker was set up over here. I actually like this bunker position, but it's not going to stop Banelings or Zerglings from, say, running in from the south side, which DiMaga does have set up down here. One Ling going to be looking to see where the base is. Most likely send one to scout up afterwards, but DeMusliM's moving through the middle of the map. And his Marines, they don't have combat shields, which is kind of alarming, but they do have stim and they do have 1-1. So a lot of power through this bio if they get on top of Queens, for example. Poorly Informed says, do Queens count as army supply for the overlay? Yes, Queens are part of the Zerg army supply. They are not their own strange entity. It simply doesn't exist. Although, by the logic, it's like, what, I think therefore I am? But Queens are fictional units, so they can't think, therefore do they not exist? You know what I'm saying? Bailey's going to roll into the SCVs. He gets some pretty nice kills. 7 go down for it. That bunker helping out a bit, but still worker losses at the end of the day. Attacking the north, escorted by those Banshees. They're a little bit low, but, you know, they got 5 and 6 kills on them. And once again, they can probably pick off some of those Banelings real nice from afar. There's really not that many Banelings out of DeMusliM. Something the Banshees could deal with when the first few rolled in. But now there's, well, I'd still argue not that many Banelings. DeMusliM just kind of shift queue into them. Drop down here to the south does get caught by the Lings. Poor Marauders left to die. DeMusliM will fall back off that. Fourth base finishes up, and this is where I start wondering, like, for DeMusliM about that planetary situation that we saw versus Protoss. Maybe we'll see versus Zerg here. Couple of Lings getting everything choked in. Banelings don't get to catch much. Banshee's still raining hell from above, but a good chunk of DeMusliM's army was taken out of the fight before it even began, and really, I don't think he's got the pushing power to get across this bridge. Marauder ends up being almost just incidentally a little bit of bait. While this went on, by the way, DiMaga did get Hive Tech out. Ooh, big snipe on that medevac too. DiMaga did get Hive Tech out, so you guys see the Ultralisk Cavern halfway finished, Adrenal Glands halfway finished. He's really stepping into that late game, and he's doing it, I will say, mostly uncontested. Like, DeMusliM has been reaching and trying, and he just doesn't have the drone kills to show for all of his troubles. DiMaga's still sitting comfortably on 71 workers. Drops once again denied. Drops up here, gonna probably be pushed back as well. I'm surprised the Banshee doesn't get focused down. Like, that thing has seriously lived for way past like 4 Banshees lifetimes. Attack to the south won't get to become a planetary or anything just yet. Does have to clean up the Lings so we can land the CC. So a little bit annoying for DeMusliM, but of course once that becomes something like a planetary, you set it and forget it. You don't really have to worry about Ling run bys as much anymore. Or to keep an eye on things like Banelings. Another set of Lings down here just kind of waiting, and we might see some of those morph in. I'm going to assume this is like an offline host from a mod, but just in the off rare chance, it is really truly my Twitch waifu, Nadia. Thank you so much for the host. And hello to any of Nadia's offline viewers. Hope you guys are having a great time. Hope you're having a great day. You've tuned in for a large amount of StarCraft, so beware. Thank you to Evil Hippie 1 as well, just up to the channel. New sub hype. Thank you for being awesome, dude. Banshee's still just picking away at the Banelings. I mean, this is a very odd TvZ where Terran and Zerg haven't really done much. DeMuslim's been trying, DiMaga's been deflecting, and frankly, we're just kind of entering into the late game stage of things now. And yeah, and for those who just joined us, if you don't watch a lot of StarCraft, here's what you need to know. The human-looking guys are about to have a really tough time with the Zerg-looking guys, or the bug-looking guys. Because the bug-looking guys have got these giant sons of guns that just don't take damage with this upgrade that's completing. Kindness Plating gives them an extra, like, 3 or 4 armor. So, context here, they've got 7 armor. Marines are shooting for, like, what, 8? Literally 1 damage. That's going to take a long time to tear through them. Liberators are not set up, so they're not able to help with the fight at all. This Banshee's still alive. DeMusliM, I'm loving this Banshee. I don't know why this is still alive, but I love it. I really, truly do. Top left, we got triple hatcheries being taken, so DiMaga feeling a little bit greedy and I guess a little bit confident in his position to do this in the first place. DeMusliM also is trying to expand outwards. Ghost Academy, Fleet Beacon, not Fleet Beacon, excuse me, Fusion Core. Went on Protoss there for a second. We got a lot of things in production for DeMusliM, but until those ghosts are actually out in play, as you can see, it's taking a whole army just to tickle the Ultralisks. You know, I gotta say, like, the run-bys down here are a little bit surprising, but DeMusliM did pull his workers away pretty quick, so the losses are not as devastating as I thought they would be for the moment. Let's keep an eye on the mini-map there. Command Center lift as well. Kind of sucks, but there's that planetary. Should be able to hold these Lings at bay. It's got a nice big old cannon on top of the Command Center. Even the Ultralisk might take some hits here, but 2 Banelings roll in and looking for some nice SCV hits. They get them. 13 workers dead. Kablooey. Lings also flooding into the natural. These are about to get on top of production. If these start picking off not SCVs, but instead reactors and tech labs, this will fall apart for DeMusliM in a really, really bad way. In fact, they're going to shut down the weapon upgrades for air. So Liberator's going to lose some of that bonus damage versus Ultralisk that they're hoping to get some. Oh boy. No, not bonus damage in terms of classic damage, but you know, +2 weapon upgrades, that sort of thing. Ghost Academy does remain intact, so be able to start building some ghosts if he wants. I do want to point out with the necessity of Corruptors coming out from DiMaga, DeMusliM will certainly favor ghosts quite a bit, as they cannot be dealt with the same way Liberators can. With 3-3 finishing up, the Ultras are finally maxed out. They got that 8 armor, good to go, ready to do some tanking for the rest of the army. DiMaga does have to make sure this is properly supported, though. I feel like this right here is bad. You don't want to come in with 6 Ultras and like a small handful of Lings and Banelings. This is where you really want to have like some sort of air support, and if not air support, Corruptors, or excuse me, Infestors, something else. Corruptors in the meantime, I think are looking to caustic spray some buildings if they can sneak around to it. No, just gonna accidentally suicides them. DiMaga, what are you doing? Feels bad, man. Command Center lifted over here, just kind of hiding for the time being. Needs to land or the Corruptors will kill it. Oh, he can't land on creep, so I think DeMusliM just gave away a free Command Center, and this is actually kind of a big deal. As we hit this late game stride, money becomes more and more desperate and more dire. What's with this sub train we're getting today? Abraxas Folly! Thank you so much for the new sub! Oh, DeMusliM feels bad, man. Okay, so Command Center goes down. That kind of sucks. We're up to 16 subs today. Holy moly. I feel like a real streamer. Thank you so much, Abraxas Folly. Alright, DeMusliM is maxed out. He's got a very nice looking army. My problem, and I guess I'm going to say beef with the army, so to speak, is that, first off, the Liberators only just completed their range. So he's finally got that in play. However, it is a lot of Liberators and no Ghosts. If the Liberators set up, the Corruptors are going to kill them. Liberators, actually, in terms of 19, could probably stay in anti-air mode and kill the Corruptors, but they're not going to. They're going to set up and try and kill the Ultralisk. It's a lot of Liberators that melt through those Ultras! Oh my god. But a lot of Liberators went down through this and became 13 very quickly. I think if DeMusliM wanted to, he really could turn around on the Corruptors, but the reason he's not doing it is because, of course, Liberators don't have great damage versus Corruptors. They lost that bonus versus and all that, but oh, this is not good. He's lost so many Liberators at this point. There's nothing to stop the Corruptors. There's nothing to stop the Ultras. I'm pretty sure this is going to be just game, as I don't know what DeMusliM can do. He just can't stop this army. And for DiMaga, well, he's making 6 more Ultras. Although, this might be what he wants. The Corruptors dive a little too deep for the medevacs, and he loses most of his Corruptors now. However, it's still going to be the question of the Ultras. There's no Ghosts coming out, so there's no way for DeMusliM to easily deal with this. He might clean up what's left here, but as the medevacs go down, there's nothing left to keep those stimmed Marauders healed up. GG's get called, and DiMaga takes game number 1. So Pickle in chat asks, do Ultras get slowed by concussive shell? The answer is no. Ultras have a really cool buff called Frenzy, and it makes them permanently immune to pretty much all crowd control. I don't know anything that can stop an Ultralisk. Nope, I take that back. You can drop mules around an Ultralisk and it becomes trapped, but that's about it. And even then, why are you wasting your mules like that? Unless you've won the game, then you're just being rude and BM. Let's be real. Alright, well, I told them I wouldn't play any ads so that this goes quickly, but hopefully it'll make the lobbies quick as well, so it's just like bim, bam, boom, in and out of these games. Now, looks like the lobby is going up now. Awesome. I'm so tired, guys. Ugh. I'm so tired. So see the smile on my face and pretend that I'm not tired? Keep in mind, this is the losers match if you guys are just joining us. I'm going to put the lobby screen on because I got to run to be right back really quick. So, yeah, see you guys here in a sec. Your game's probably going to start. You'll miss the first, like, minute, maybe. Hear me? Okay, hello, I'm back. And we're getting in a game. Cool, I didn't miss much. It looks like nobody's proxying, so that's a good sign. Although that is a mighty fast gas out of this guy here in the bottom right, the blue Terran player, DeMusliM. And at the top left, he's up 1-0 currently. It is the red Zerg DIMAGA, who's making Zerg look pretty darn good, if I do say so myself. Now, that was actually a called a hive tech situation. SITCHY-ation. And I think for me, it's just like DeMusliM is almost there. There's some early game sloppiness out of both sides of this to discuss. Hype goes to the Banshee, by the way. But for me, okay, DeMuslim's getting really cheesy, by the way. I'll talk about this more in a second. For me, it was just interesting to watch that he was ready to go. He had everything pretty much set up. Like, he had the Ghost Academy, he had the Liberator range, he had 19 freaking Liberators, and I kind of feel like if he had a chance to do over, if he could do what Fear Dragon is doing his most recent tournament show matches and rewind time, go back to the replay at a certain point, I think DeMusliM would have played this slightly differently and won. But that's not how it played out, and game number 1 went to his opponent. Now, 3 racks Reaper cheese. I guess Ace Cheese and chat if you got it, guys, because this could get a little bit messy. DeMusliM has always been, in my opinion, best when it comes to Terran cheeses. And that's not to say, like, oh my god, he can't macro or he can't play. He played WESG really well, for those who didn't watch those games. But for me, like, ever since seeing him 2 racks his way to WCS qualifiers, I've always been a fan of DeMusliM and his cheese. And even during the beta, he was one of the people who bust out those Hellion Cyclone builds and other disgusting things, so I have a lot of faith for him to do things differently. BaseTradeTV, is this your version of a chair stream? I mean, I guess technically, but I was only gone for like 30 seconds. I just had to let my cat inside. Well, the Reaper's paired up with a couple of their buddies now, and this becomes more like a dragon slaying crew. If they want to fight the queens, they certainly can, but it's not about the queens as much as it is keeping the Ling count low, interestingly enough, because the Lings are a really good buffer. When speed kicks in, Reapers actually become a little bit weaker for it, but as you can see, I have got my cursor annoyingly in the middle of the screen. I'm not actually, my hands aren't on the keyboard right now. What are they doing? I don't know. Can you guess? It's nothing inappropriate. Don't be weird, guys. You'll never guess. Alright, so Hellions, or not Hellions, excuse me, Reapers are going to have to lead their shots now with the grenades. As you can see, DeMusliM puts them in front of him where he's going to run, and that's where you just hope DiMaga chases. But because DiMaga does not chase, DeMusliM doesn't get the kills. He's still dedicating to this, though, but with a bit of a macro potential behind it. So Command Center comes down. We've actually seen a lot of players, I'm thinking Euthermo first and foremost here, play this out. Doesn't work out the way they want to. They put down a 3rd CC, and recovery is actually totally possible. I don't believe it is with just 2, But it's still early to have that third one, so we'll see if DeMusliM actually reaches for it or not. The double engineering bay is really interesting. I don't think we're going this direction with it because he has cut Reaper production. But Ruff had a really cool +1 version of this that I still reference in Heartbroken 2 every day because I think it's actually something pros could use and win. But that's a whole another story for a whole another time. There's no way he gets up to the high ground. If he does, if he jumps up there, he's going to lose it. Anything he throws up there to the lings. So it might just be like jump one up there and throw the rest of them with grenades. He's looking for creep tumors.
I'm not going to drunk. Oh, on the hot scale, I'm a 10, baby.
On the hot scale, you're at 10, baby. Oh, wait, did that not show her face? Let me do that again. I'll look for it in a sec. Actually, because the grenades actually did take out the creep tumor. Kind of cool to see. Thank you to oh man, there's no way I pronounced that name correctly. To Niels Krieger. Niels Krieger? Niels Krieger. Get off my Krieger! Thank you to Niels Krieger. So it's the closest I guess I'm gonna get. $10 donation says, as a Dutchie, I still can't understand TvZ's German despite 5 years of Deutsch lessons. Thanks for the English stream and keep it up. Super toll! I'm gonna hope you didn't make me say anything inappropriate just now, but glad to be providing you with some StarCraft in English, so thank you. But okay. Reapers are still just chucking those grenades around. And for DeMusliM, I mean, a lot of people would just kind of give up on these Reapers after a point. You just say, screw it, A-move with the medevac attack later and hope for the best. But he's being pretty proactive with them. And I actually like this. As long as it doesn't interrupt his macro cycles and doesn't take anything away from what he's doing at home. The third command center was built, by the way, so recovery, again, looking possible. Splash damage from the grenades. I didn't realize how big that splash damage was until I just now watched it kill creep tumors. That's kind of cool. Pouring water into a cup. Nope. Drinking Kool-Aid. You spelled Kool-Aid wrong, so super nope. I was like 100% just rubbing my eyes, guys. Like, that's what I said. So, like, whatever. Feels so good to do it. I know I shouldn't. Like, I've actually had my eye doctor tell me, like, you shouldn't rub your eyes as much as you do. And it's like, but it feels so good, lady. Still being pretty... I really like this, though. Like, it doesn't require a scan. It's getting him actual creep tumor kills. And for DeMuslim's sake, it's not stopping the creep spread, but it is stalling some of it out. 1-1 now finished. 2 Comet Shields is done. These Reapers benefit from +1 as well. Not just once, but twice. Keep in mind, they shoot 2 times. So that's 10 damage now a shot, which is pretty nice. 10 damage a shot with 120 damage. If all these Reapers shoot the same thing. Kind of cool. Everybody dance, though. We're going to have these lings going and getting exploded on. Splash damage is a hell of a thing. These grenades only hit for 10, but when they hit 14 or 15 units for 10, that's, once more, a lot of damage. If he got the Banelings, that would have been the best case scenario, obviously. But he'll have a couple more to scatter these around with as his real push comes behind this. That's a lot of Marines. And truthfully, DeMusliM actually just killed quite a few lings. In fact, 29 have died so far over the course of the game for an exchange of 4 Reapers. Well, the grenades aren't going to be picking off creep tumors so easily anymore. It doesn't quite have the freedom as with Marines here. He has to actually control the army. With Reapers, you can kind of be a little bit silly because they are so fast they can jump uphill. DeMusliM going to go for the stim and just try and focus on the hatchery real quick. A little bit dangerous with the Banelings there, but the grenades actually scatter the Banelings. This allows DeMusliM to walk back and focus fire them down. Cool moves out of that Reaper. Even then, there's more Banelings where that came from, and he is looking for the focus fire, but he doesn't want to fight on creep, and rightfully so. Cool whip. Watch me whip. Watch me whip. Watch me nay. No, stop. Okay. This is a weird fight. I don't know why DeMusliM is actually taking this, to be honest. The second medevac not here. There's no way to get these Marines out of here alive. They take a pretty bad bailing hit and loses a majority of his army for it. It's one of those things where if DeMusliM was actually actively, and it didn't look like he was proactively, but if he was actually pushing into this base, looking for a kill, okay, keep that positioning. But it looked like he was posturing and trying to trade, which, in my opinion, may not have been worth it at the end of the day, no matter how well it went. And it did not go well. Meanwhile, Job on the main gets cleaned up fully and entirely. Medevac, rest in pieces, dude, with the rest of the army down below it. And DeMusliM gets 6 worker kills for it. I'm feeling bad for him again this game because the Infestation Pit comes out, and this has been kind of an uncontested series for DiMaga so far, and it looks like it's going to continue that way here in Game 2. And once again, for the millionth time, just reminding everybody that this is the losers match. So if DeMusliM goes out, he's gone, and I don't want him to be gone, guys. I want to see more DeMusliM. I want to see a lot more DeMusliM. Meanwhile, down here to the south, DiMaga's posturing up, but there's some Widow Mines, and I don't think he'll be busting through this wall anytime soon. Yeah, Ling just baits the hit to see where they are. And there's a bunker. I didn't even see there's a bunker there. There's a bunker there too. Nice. Alright, we'll continue a slow push up to the north. I mean, a lot of pressure going towards this base, and maybe it's because he got it like halfway dead earlier, and he knows it's not going to be full health, and it's probably easier to kill than a full health base elsewhere. Maybe it's just because it's exposed. I don't know. Let's see here. Upgrades starting to favor DeMusliM quite a bit, actually, as he moves towards his 3-3. DiMaga will be finishing up +2 melee soon. Oh, man, I suppose this DiMaga... Yeah, Hive Tech's just now finishing, so those Ultras will come out soon-ish. DeMuslim's got about a good 2 to 3 minutes before the game starts getting a little bit imbalanced. We're going to say imbalanced there with air quotes, because it really isn't like imbalanced in terms of like, oh my god, the game's broken, but, you know, Ultras just... They fuck shit up, guys. There's no better way to say that. They just mess stuff up. Well, the Queens are certainly numerous and ready to push back those medevacs. Not sure how good they'll be versus the Liberators for anti-air, but... Bailey's walking to the front line. A lot of them get sniped off immediately, but the Marines are not behind the Marauders. It's actually the Marines are on the front line. The Marauders are behind them. A bit of a mistake over there. But Widowmine's popping off left and right. DeMusliM getting a lot of kills, but looks like DiMaga should be able to clean them up. I mean, it's risky because it's off of creep, but the reinforcements actually might just make all the world of difference here. Both players receiving reinforcements, new Lings, new Bailey's, new Queens up on that front line, and now going to back away from this, realizing just how far off of creep he may have accidentally gotten. A couple transfuses should make sure this doesn't get too bad, but oh, that Widowmine shot was just fantastic. Up to 26 kills, and a majority of those Banelings go off too. DiMaga, who was 30 seconds ago matching DeMusliM and army supply, suddenly down by almost 40. And the argument can be made like, okay, well, at least he's saving up for those Ultras, right? No, wrong. With all these upgrades, he doesn't have any money banked up. Nothing saved up. If DeMusliM keeps the pressure on, he's not going to have to fight Ultras anytime soon, just simply well-upgraded Lings. What good is getting his plating if you got no Ultras to apply it to? Feels bad, man. DeMusliM in the meantime happily mining off of this base. He's had quite a bit of production going for some time now, so I'm not too worried for him, but that army supply, I mean, let's see what the graphs have to say. Look at that drop. This is Widowmine after Widowmine after Widowmine just nailing into DiMaga. Income's in the favor of DeMusliM by quite a bit too, so it's just winning in a lot of different ways right now. I really don't think Ultras will be the saving grace for him this time around. Honestly, like if he had an Infestor or two, I'd actually say those would be fantastic. Paired up with any of these units, be it Banelings, Zerglings, or Ultras, but the fact is, there's no casters coming out of DiMaga, not by the looks of it. Brute force, more Lings, more Ultras, and it's going to be the only way it goes from here to the end of the game, I bet. I say I bet, but I would never actually bet. Feels bad. Yeah, that was not good for DiMaga. That was certainly not good for DiMaga. GG's. Good luck. Wait. Am I ridiculous? Did I get the scores wrong? Was that game 3? What? I thought that was game 2. Hang on. What? It wasn't just. DiMaga, you silly Billy. That was game 2. I don't blame him though. After such a long game 1 and a really epic series, like, I'd be confused too. But okay, we get this next map up, guys. We'll see you soon. Oh, whoops! I meant to end this a little bit early, guys. Sorry. Boop, 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 boop. Didn't realize it was gonna kick off as quick as it did. So, all right, we're back. Hello, in action. I'm on the wrong scene still. Fix it. Fix it. Fix it. Fix it. There we go. Game number 3. So after a small bit of confusion, I guess DiMaga Ultra lists are so good, even the Zerg players can't believe that they won with them. Literally. So, tied up 1-1. Not the end of the series. On the top right side, this is going to be the final map, though. It's the Blue Zerg DiMaga. Bottom left side, we got the red Terran. It is going to be DeMusliM. Okay, so this series is already closer than I thought it would be. First game, second game had such very drastically different endings to them. I'm wondering if DeMusliM's going to go for the Reapers again. I actually didn't check on that gas timing because I was busy trying to fix XSplit. But if he is going to go for the 3 racks Reaper, this is another map where certainly it can work. Galactic Process is just ready to be abused like that. DiMaga, on the other hand, did not exactly handle it poorly. He did deflect the Reapers for a long time, but I'm wondering what dynamic that actually played towards the end of that. Because I think, for me, the turning point in that game, actually thinking on it further, it really was like that one fight where there was so many Widow Mines patched down. They were picking off all the Lings, all the Zerglings. It was like 80 supply to 80 supply, 60 supply to 60 supply. It just got really messy going forward. And I think that one last Widow Mine hit that managed to catch like 5 of the Banelings and like 12 of the Lings. Yeah, that one Widow Mine we highlighted with 26 kills was probably where DiMaga was going to stop being able to turn that game around. But again, like, hypotheticals go to like Infestors and other things. Well, it's nice to have a huge amount of Lings, and you should have Lings supporting your Ultralisks. You know, that Terran army is just going to run around and kite you forever. Best way to stop that is to hold them in place with a good fungal growth. Something we did not see out of DiMaga at all in either of these games, actually. Alright, so DeMusliM doesn't actually reach out for lots of barracks. And he actually doesn't throw down the 3 racks Reaper once again. But he does throw into the command center, and he's got his factory finished up. Starport on deck as soon as he's got the gas for it, I'm sure. Boom, there you go. And I think that it should probably be just like that classic opening for Terran. He goes 2 medevacs, do a bit of damage, 2-on-1, etc. I think actually, for me, the strength in those pushes really comes from like the control of the units, and not really the type of units or the timing you're hitting. Like, I feel like Beyond could hit a minute later than everyone else and still get the same amount of damage in there, and a lot has to do with how he controls himself. See if DeMusliM's got it up to that. But Tac Lab coming up. Okay, it's gonna get that tank pushed. First medevac on the way, and of course lots of Marines. If this is gonna be a Widow Mine drop, it's kind of cute and a little more old school. Certainly see it maybe working and getting some damage done. Thank you to Amazon X, or Amazon 9. Man, I feel like one of these has got to be right. Thank you for the 8-month resub. Thank you for putting up with 8 months of me being unable to pronounce that name. Awesome. Lings run on top of these Marines, though. You know what? This might be a quicker game than even I expected. The scatter at the last second's pretty good, too, so the Widow Mine doesn't get all the kills. That depot's stuck at 21 out of 21. Aw, that sucks. DeMusliM, in the meantime, picks up his SCVs out of the natural just to keep them alive. I like the idea of preserving these. He's going to drop supply. Normally you wouldn't want to do this, but he does lose depots on this front line, so he has to. Command center gets lifted. And I feel like with the tank here especially, he should be able to clean this up. No Widow Mine special tricks if necessary. The one Widow Mine over here is also going to help guard the ramp a little bit, so reinforcements won't come in so easily, but also DiMaga won't escape so easily either. Also, DeMusliM was repairing this and then stopped for some reason. So, rest in peace, Command Center. Don't burn. There you go. It's almost the case of the feels bad mans. Okay. Look just in time to watch the Reaper eat his own grenade. Bit of Harikari Seppuku or whatever you want to call it. Sudoku? I think that's the word. Poorly informed asking about the stream delay. So we went live today with 2 minutes. Ended up reducing it to 1 minute because that's what TvZ is using, and a lot of people were upset they couldn't multi-Twitch our 2 channels together. So I talked to Naruto. He told us just to set it to 1 minute. Boom, Bob's your uncle. We're good to go. I like the idea here of the 2 unsiege tanks, so let them both get across the map. Otherwise, you'd just be able to carry one over. Problem is, though, tanks take a long time to kill queens, and queens also have some transfuses in them, so DeMusliM might not be able to actually get too much accomplished here. This is where I think also perhaps leaving one Marine on the high ground would be a little more effective. The medevac's scared to go in and provide high ground vision because of those queens zoning it out. Of course, as we see, when the medevacs are in position, the queens might come back and start shooting away at them. Yeah. Links from the bottom side get a nice flank on top of the army. The Marines and the tanks are being repositioned. That medevac goes down with a tank inside of it. Feels bad for DeMusliM. Marines also going to go down one. The last survivor, but not for long. Queens kill him off, and this is a good defense out of DiMaga, but a really bad attack out of DeMusliM now because he loses another tank, and that leaves him at such a supply deficit. Not in terms of just overall supply, but specifically army. This leaves him with 1 medevac, 1 Reaper, and 3 Marines. 2 wind mines, but those are kind of like whatever. Those are sometimes negligible, sometimes not. Oh, his production's not quite in full swing yet either. He's still waiting for a lot of these buildings to finish up and move the buildings over to the reactors and all that. So, as he takes his 3rd CC, muling's not going to be a problem, but DeMuslim's not going to be able to spend his money too effectively still for another minute or so. You thought the stream delay seemed shorter than normal? I know, it's like if we're on 1 minute, why even have a stream delay? 2 minutes makes sense. 1 minute's like, I think you could still, if you really, really wanted to, get information off of a 1 minute delay. But hey, that's none of my business. Oh, I haven't even dipped in this Red Bull yet, but I'm actually worried about passing out on stream soon. I don't know, guys. I've never felt this tired on a cast before. Even during the 18.5 hours that we did Best of 69. Like, I think a lot of it was I still actually have not woken up. Okay, Liberators are pushed back off of this. Not a lot of damage going to get done initially. It could probably sit back here to the right, maybe, and even siege up a little, but not with the Queens policing it where it currently is. So both of them going to fall back and fly away elsewhere. Oh dear. Hive Tech comes up. And Hive Tech could lead to, those ultras again, and maybe this is like a little bit roly-poly and scary for somebody like DeMusliM to deal with, but I gotta imagine, like, DiMaga feels kind of confident in the matchup. I'm just saying this based on his results of what he said in lobby and a couple of other things here and there, but regardless of like whether he feels confident or not, the fact is he really did manhandle DeMusliM when he had that Hive Tech and proper tech, and he wasn't delayed from lots and lots of Reapers and other silly things. So the fact that he's just kind of smooth sailing onto it is worrisome, I'd say, and DeMuslim's probably thinking about that too. In the back of his head, he's got that euthermal mentality of like the time bomb's ticking, cutting his plating, and the ultras are coming. Nice transfuses to keep the Queens alive, training out the best they can for these Liberators. However, maybe perhaps would have been better off just moving the Sport Crawler in the first place. Oh. Yeah, another Liberator almost gonna go down. Queen's got some insane range. Seriously, F Queens, yo. That's my balance wine for the day. Okay, Sport Car gonna zone out the Liberator, get a couple more kills. I'm sure he'll get 1 or 2 more before it's all said and done. Medevac down here is loaded with Widow Mines. It's not so much about the detection, and so much as it is what's getting them to go off. I think if he goes soon, he probably will. But, he's playing back with it, so never mind. I would have loved to have seen those Widow Mines go off and do some real damage. Tom said I get the Liberator still doing what it can as well. It's also not looking like it's going to be perhaps able to do too much. Ooh, that's a lot of queens almost out of position. Wasn't able to catch them though, so with them being on creep, they do just kind of sneak away. Fast little ladies that they be. Actually, now that I think about it, queens kind of are like little old ladies. They're like hunched over, need help, can't do anything on their own. They yell at the kids on their lawn, aka the units in the sky. Get out of here, you damn kids. Nice ling run by DiMaga to the south. This will chase off some SCVs out of a very important mining base out of DeMusliM. DeMusliM, by the way, does have a planetary up, so he couldn't possibly harass that base with the lings the way he just did. Meanwhile, big attacks on the way, and frankly, there's not a huge minefield waiting for him. DiMaga doesn't have a lot to oppose him, but he is playing it safe because he has seen 3 or 4 Widow Mines, and he doesn't want to take any risks or chances. I'm surprised that the queen count is still sitting on about 11. It's been some very awkward queen trades this game, but I guess not too shabby. Most of these also have transfuses. Not that you're going to want to use them on banelings or anything, but you're going to keep it alive with those ultras that are going to come out here in a moment. DeMusliM also finishing up another command center, or excuse me, starting another command center. At what point will he transfer his main over? Nobody knows. Liberator setting up pretty nicely on the edge of those queens. This bait's a really great fight, but the Ultralist does have chitinous plating, and it's just going to tank a lot of that bio, a lot of those hits. But the transfuses are mostly used up, and with this had 11 queens to 4, he's down to 6, which also means 5 less healers. 7 less healers? 5 less healers. I had the math right the first time. Math is really tough to do on stream, guys. A lot of people think that's a giant meme, but it's actually truth. It's like documentary channel levels of truth. Alright, so DiMaga backs away from this. DeMusliM doesn't follow suit, although I really think he could have. Regardless, collects his forces for a much better engagement to come. I think that's got to be one of the hardest things about playing Legacy right now is, like, as an observer, we have God mode vision, we can see everything cool. But as a player, it's going to be hard to sit there and analyze, like, was that a great fight? You hear Hero Marine and talk about the right things to do when he streams, and some players will know what to do, but doesn't mean they executed it correctly type thing. Would love to get inside the mind of DeMusliM right now as he fights against DiMaga. DiMaga, on the other hand, actually playing this pretty well too. He's got those Ultralists out. He's been playing a little bit further back, but the same problem and the same criticism I have stands. I don't like that these Ultras are essentially alone. They don't really have a lot of backup. They don't have a lot of support. And I'm not talking about making 50 legs and a small handful of banelings. They really do need something else. Either full energy queens, which he's lacking because he's lost so many, or hell, a lot of lings and banelings. Obviously, I still think Infestors are the best, but anyways, moving on. 9 months from Infest Dylan. Thank you for that resub. Hey, he says, "What up, girl? How you doing? How you doing?" Joey Trebbiani. Hey. The wall's up, but this won't be a wall for very long with Ultras and Lings waiting. Lings especially with Adrenal Glands. Interesting to see the focus fire from the Liberators go towards the Queen. I wonder if that was an auto attack or if that was on purpose out of DeMusliM. Either way, removes the majority of these Queens from play, and again, removes, more importantly, the transfuses that would otherwise go into the Ultralisks. Gonna take down another base, and that's kind of cool. Attack to the far south, ends up getting some SCV kills, up to 11. Wow. Widow Mines, Liberators, everything that you don't want to fight as a Zerg player currently employed in this area, so beware. Give it to DeMusliM, he's getting some nice damage done. His army supply is up almost 2 to 1 at this point. Lots of good deflections and really good fights. And DiMaga is going for Corruptors again, which I think is a small necessity. However, it's going to just kind of inflate his supply further to something that's not going to matter as much. Well, Medevac's healing everything up. And last game, DeMusliM had, I think it was 19 Liberators, and was a bit too hesitant to go in for a fight. My real genuine concern is that that may happen again. He's got a lot of units, and he might just use them for their anti-ground only mode. Well, pushing on through. He's going to find the base a little bit unguarded, actually. Where is DiMaga's army? It's over here to the right. He's just going to let it go. Frozen styles. There's so many Widow Mines at this point. I don't even know if an Ultralist can walk through this. I mean, Ultras have a heck of a lot of health. They can certainly take damage, but not through Widow Mines of that magnitude, of that quantity. This is so irritating watching these things unload into those queens, by the way, that just the transfuse comes down. I don't know what's worse, Ultralists or that. Seriously. Well, DeMusliM finally going to get the base. It's going to be a nice pick off for him. But the top, very left, and the base just to his north have also both been taken. He has a hunch from some of the reinforcements, so he just walks over here to try and catch it with that bio. Not a bad choice at all. Not all of his bio, mind you, but most of it. Ultralisks, where are you, baby? Here we are. Alright, so over dedicating a little bit. He walks through the Liberation Zone. That's going to cost him. Bit unfortunate over there. Right side looks like a Corruptor got picked off, so some of the anti-air problems and woes might not be as problematic or woeful. But yeah, the Widow Mine's on Burrow to reposition once again. I would love to see Drilling Claws actually come out of DeMusliM if he was going to continue investing in these, but this also might be a once-off strategy. I don't actually know. Liberator's going to take care of those queens pretty darn quick, though. They let the Ultralisks through, which might be a problem. Nah, there's so many Widow Mines and Marauders that take it back. The base going to go down. Of course, low from earlier, funny enough. Not low enough, however. No, he's going to get it. Just looked a little bit awkward because the Marine started shooting the Overseer, and I was like, why? This drone escape should clue him in that there's a base to the right as well. I'm going to shoot Larva instead. Okay. Yeah. Alright, well, the drones get pulled away from this. So that worker count it's racking up pretty quick, but there's also a small attack on the other side of the map. Now it's good game, and this time around it's good luck because DiMaga will sadly be eliminated from the group and the tournament, as this was the losers match. That being said, DeMusliM will advance to play one more game, one more best of 3 in the finals. I'm not sure what the score of the other series is. I'm hoping it's good to go now, but truthfully, I don't know. So we're going to go to commercial break, guys. I'll play some music. When we come back, it will be whenever the game is ready to go. I'm hoping it's... I don't know who it was. DeMusliM Mana, maybe? No, Mana won first in the group. It's DNS. So it's DeMusliM versus DNS. It's going to be a rematch. See you guys in a bit.